Hi, my name's Arie Mahler. I am the Alderwood Compassion Center director, and I'm chatting today with Ann McDermott. She will be our children's hospitality leader in our Compassion Center. For those of you that aren't familiar with what the Compassion Center is all about, it will be a space for community outreach where we hope to provide assistance to those that are the working poor in our community, as well as our congregation, where we will provide resources and share the love of Jesus. So, Ann, can you tell me a little bit about what your prior experience, what prior experiences kind of led you to be wanting to serve in the Compassion Center?
Well, I've been a volunteer in children's ministry since high school, which has been a long time. But most recently, for the past 9 years, I've been a volunteer in a dear friend's classroom for kindergarten and first grade in a Title I school. And Title I means that a large percentage of the children are on free and reduced meal programs. So it's given me the opportunity to experience and see the challenges that these families face, and also, especially the children, the effects of poverty that it has on their learning and just social skills. And, it just makes things a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, for sure. So, why do you feel called to serve in the Compassion Center? What kind of drew you to this new ministry?
I love working in the classroom, obviously, because I've been doing it for so long. But for the past probably year and a half, I've had a sense of a little bit of restlessness, maybe for lack of a better word, feeling like while I love and the work that we do in the classroom, the teaching is excellent, expectations are high, all of that, I started feeling like it was falling short. And being in a public school, of course, you are limited as far as how you can share your faith. And I've always felt that, my prayer was every day as I walked out that door and into the classroom was that the love that I have for Jesus and that he has for me would be spilled out onto the children. And while I do believe that he was faithful and that is what happened, I always felt like when we would come across a challenge or something, I'm like, oh, it's not just, this immediate need, but it, it's a heart issue or, whatever. So when I started hearing about the Compassion Center, due to some changes in my schedule, I felt like God was pushing me a little bit and saying, this is an area that I want you to serve in. And I've, kind of cleared the path for you. So I was really excited to kind of have that missing piece to the puzzle, allowing me to be able to be part of that. And whereas I felt, well, I love what I do and I still will volunteer in the classroom, I get to go to that next step because we all know that, the real answer to the situations and the challenges that people face today is that heart relationship with the Lord. So I was very excited, a little scared. This is way out of my comfort zone, but I also felt that God was challenging me to get a little messy and to not have all of the answers and to really put my faith, put feet to my faith and to really learn what it means to be the hands and feet of Jesus.
Wow. Okay. So what excites you most about the Compassion Center and the role that you'll fill?
Well, I think the thing that really solidified it for me was when I started hearing, and maybe it was more in our meetings that we had, our team meetings, was the fact that we were trying to not break a cycle, but reach these people before the cycle began, that cycle of poverty, homelessness. I loved that approach, and that probably came from, I believe, the Poverty 101 class that we took. But I really had never thought about it that way, and I loved that we are trying to reach and and serve our neighbors before it becomes such a critical situation and where there's just sometimes overwhelming challenges. I love that. And I loved that our goal and our mission was to develop relationships with our neighbors rather than just give them a bag. And I'm not saying that that's not a worthy endeavor. Of course it is, because it's meeting physical needs, which we also want to do, but we also want to go that extra step. We want to build those relationships. And our ultimate goal or mission is, of course, that we want to come alongside them and have them become everyday followers of Jesus. But I also think it's not so much, or no, I think that there's a side benefit that for that too, is that we who are serving alongside our neighbors, that we also will become more effective everyday followers of Jesus and have a better understanding and knowledge of how to do that and what that looks like in the community that we're serving.
So, as the children's hospitality leader, what exactly will your team be doing?
Well, I think to not be like specific, but you can probably imagine that we'll have like activities and stuff. But I really feel that our purpose is to allow the parents or the adults that come to be less distracted when they are having their meal and when they are hopefully developing relationships with the people that are at their table, knowing that their children are just in the next room and that they're safe. They're being, people are playing games with them or doing a short activity with them. It does have to be somewhat, we can't like sit down and have like a junior church program or a Sunday school program because of the movement that will be happening. We don't know how long adults and parents are going to be staying in the other part of the program. So we do have to be flexible. And that's a little different for me because I'm very much I like, the structure and I like a time frame, but this is going to be kind of open-ended. So whatever activities or things that we're doing in the children's area will have to be able to be, you just come in and then you leave. And again, I think our primary responsibility is to be welcoming, is to love those children, and so that their parents feel comfortable in leaving them with us.
Exactly. And I'm a little remiss in that I did not really share what the foundational ministry of the Compassion Center will be. And that will be that we will be a food pantry. We'll be a food program where families can come, and we're not really a food bank. That's not our intent, but we want to be a supplement. We want to be a service where people can come and even if they're already part of a food bank or utilizing some of those community resources, we can come alongside and provide some additional support and some additional resources with food. But like you said, our main goal is to build relationships and where we can show and share the love of Jesus Christ and the hope that we have in him. And so really what's exciting, and I think it really cannot be undersold, is the role that you and your team will be taking in that you, like you mentioned, you will be able to allow parents or the adults to have some time, sit down, have a meal when we are serving the meal, and just have some time to be able to have some conversation and maybe even some quiet time. So I believe the role that you and your team are going to fulfill is extremely important and will be extremely beneficial to the families that we serve. And really one of the things that we hope to do down the road is expand our ministry and expand the resources and the services that we will provide. And that may include during the day outside of the nights where the food program is up and operational. So I think your team is going to grow and will be needed even more so as we look towards the future. So Anne, again, I want to thank you for this time that you've taken with me and shared about your heart and your heart for serving, your heart for kids, and how serving in the Compassion Center really kind of meets those needs. If you have any other questions for those of you watching, or any ideas, or would like to potentially serve, you can check us out on our website, alderwood.cc/compassion. There's a link there which will connect you with me directly, and we can share more information about the Compassion Center. Again, thanks so much, Anne. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.